welcome. You're watching Your Trades on ET Now. I am Snehi Shah. Along with me is Shreyansi Singh. This is a show where we're going to recap the entire day that we've seen on the street, what today's session has looked like, and more importantly, what we can expect heading into tomorrow's trading session. Before we do that, let's revisit what the markets have done in trade today. It's been a fairly positive day for us. And yesterday, we had a 1% uptick coming in on the Nifty. Today, we've continued that momentum as well. Second consecutive day of gains coming for us. And Shreyansi, take us through what stood out to you.
Well, absolutely, and there's a lot that makes it to that list, right? Because you had quite a few gainers coming in, both on a sectoral basis and even when you talk about stocks. Firstly, let's take a very quick look at what the Nifty did. Of course, 22,500 is a level that we managed to close above, and other than that, you in fact also have the broader markets. At least amid that pack, you have the mid-cap index on your screens that ended the day in the green as well. When you take a look at the sectoral gainers, then you have metals that were shining bright in today's trading session. Other than that, of course, the energy and commodities pack was also eking out gains coming in somewhere close to 2% for both of these indices. In fact, when you take a look at what else was buzzing in trade on a sectoral basis, you had pharma and FMCG that had a good day in trade coming in. What did not do all that well was IT and realty, especially towards the end of the session, because they were on the back foot. Now you do have realty that managed to closed in the red, and that IT that managed to close in the green. But nonetheless, you have quite a weak move coming in as far as both of these sectors are concerned. On a stock basis, when you take a look at Reliance, that's the one that was up in trade, in focus on the back of that brokerage verdict coming in, where you do have analysts turning most bullish when it comes to Reliance. Other than that, that entire OMC pack was also something that we're keeping in mind. In terms of crude crashing to a 3-year low, that is something that was helping some of these OMC players as well. Other than that, of course, you had Axis Bank, Dr. Reddy's Labs, Apollo Hospitals, Bajaj Auto, and a select few auto counters that managed to hold up quite well in trade, Snehi.
Absolutely, lots of stocks were in focus in today's trading session as well. And while we're talking about crude being at a 3-year low, it's not only the OMCs, it was the entire a pack of beneficiaries, the likes of your tire stocks. Auto ancillaries have done well. Paint stocks, and especially Asian Paints, are very surprising. Almost 5% up move coming in on Asian Paints in today's trading session. Let's pull up that chart. Yes, because 4.7% uptick coming in on an intraday basis. It's the top Nifty gainer in today's trading session and has helped the Nifty log in some beautiful gains in today's trade. Berger Paints has done well, a 3.2% uptick coming in. So the entire pack of paints, tire stocks, anybody who benefits from crude prices being low. On the back of that, I believe FMCG stocks also would stand to benefit from this Nifty FMCG, a 1.1% uptick coming in. The likes of Nestle, HUL, all your crude beneficiaries would be very up in the buzz in today's trading session. It's looking good for that pack as well. Some other top news coming in for the day. Trump has paused auto tariffs for a month. That's a big positive coming in for our auto sector. But while we are talking about the auto space, we have to talk about Tesla's foray into India, because they have locked in on BKC in Mumbai, which is the Bandra Kurla complex in Mumbai, as their first destination to set up their showroom for the Tesla cars in India. So lots has happened in today's trading session. We'll also have Ravinder, who will join us later in the show and tell us about which stocks made the headlines today. Lots has happened as well, but now time to bring on board Kunal, who's our in-house expert, to understand the kind of move that we've seen today. And Kunal, more importantly, do you believe that this 2-day rally that we've seen can also pan on to a third day? Can we expect to see a good day coming tomorrow? Or do you believe that the kind of uptick that we've seen in the market has, provided some relief to investors who were worried about their positioning and have, booked profits, and tomorrow we could see a reversal? What's tomorrow looking like?
It's actually the third day of intraday gains for the index. Yes, of course, on a net basis, the last 2 days has been positive, but third bullish candle what we've seen for the indices. And I think what we've seen is 3 different styles of the day. Initially, the first day was where the markets were grappling through a lot of negativity or pessimism. Yesterday was a day where there was some belief that maybe this could be a market rally which could probably see more legs on the upside. And now at 22,500 mark, where we've closed on the index, there is slight bit of confidence that maybe this could trickle into a near-term rally for the indices. So I think one has to play it on a short-term basis. I would probably look out for 22,800 to 23,000 as the first level of target for the index on the upside. What we are seeing as a positive sign is emergence of lot many other sectors. So in the last 1 week, 1 month or so, banking, financials was the only space which is outperforming. But now you have so many of the other sectors which have started to pick up decent pace for themselves. You have metal stocks which have started to look attractive. Real estate stocks have made a comeback. So when you see a mix of high beta sectors, the short covering space, or the short covering stocks performing quite well, it generally indicates that the markets are going through a first leg of up move, and potentially after maybe a couple of days of consolidation, we should move up higher to almost 22,800 plus mark over the near term.
All right, then that's what the picture is looking like as far as the markets are concerned. But tell us, Kunal, which are the picks that make it to your list in terms of stock recommendations?
So I'll go with two differentiated names over here. The first one is about Avenue Supermart or DMart. The stock looking attractive at current levels and expecting the stock to show signs of recovery from a steep underperformance over the very near term. So would look out for targets in the range of 3750 at least. Stop loss could be kept at 3400 mark from current levels. And the second would be about Axis Bank. Could be an interesting chart. The stock is on the verge of a bullish pennant formation on the daily time frame, as well as also nearing a breakout of its previous key short-term moving averages. So would look out for 1075 as a target. Stop us at 1014.
Okay, DMart and Axis Bank looking good to Kunal right now. Kunal, thanks so much for joining us. On that note, we'll let you go. But let's keep it going with word from the wise then. And Vivek Paul, head of portfolio research at BlackRock Investment Institute, believes that structure of opportunities is sizable in India. He also says that for someone with a 5 or 10 year time horizon, now is the time to build your portfolio in India. Let's go across and listen into his view.
Structural opportunities are sizable in India. So if we were thinking for anybody with an investing horizon 5-10 years out, we would be building portfolios today using our core IP where you'd hold a greater allocation than a benchmark weight. And that's true for the bond market, that's true for the equity market as well. And that's a function of structural dynamics being positive for India. But on the structural side, the demographic sort of forces underpinning India are really strong. Most of the developed markets, China, are going to experience a shortfall in working age population over the coming 20 years. India's going to experience a big gain in working age population in the coming years. And you think about the geopolitical dynamics that we're in now, a multi-aligned country such as India is likely to benefit from that sort of environment more in the future.
All right, then moving on, let's also get you some more interesting commentary coming in. Time now for the big call from Amundi. Then in a conversation with Nikunj, head of Asia Investment, Florian Neto explains how the US equities may have already peaked out, and with a weakening dollar, he expects money to move out of the United States soon. Let's go across and listen in.
On the US dollar depreciating, it's happening already, but not versus rupiah or versus some emerging currency, but it's happening already versus yen, versus euro. You may see that the euro has been moving 5% already, appreciating. The yen as well have been moving 10% over the last 3 months. So the dollar has been depreciating in trade weighting terms, but not versus some specific EM currencies. Second point, we are a strong believer, and it's part of our outlook for this year, that the US performance, the way the design of it was not sustainable. It was too concentrated, lower breadth, and indeed those stocks, those Max 7 stocks, deserve to perform well because they have been having strong guidance, strong earnings, high bar, and they have been matching the bar or exceeding the bar. But we do believe now that the S&P will perform less than other markets because S&P the performance should broaden to other stocks and other sectors. And we do see as well flows moving out of the US.
Okay, on that note, we'll slip into a very short break on this edition of Your Trades and keep it going about the market discussion. And when we return, we'll take you through what the F&O space was looking like today. So you stay tuned and we'll be right back. Hi there, welcome back to Your Trades. As promised, let's take a look at how the F&O space has shaped up in today's trading session. For the index future trend for the March expiry, we're seeing long build up on Nifty. Very positive momentum coming in the F&O space along for the Nifty, so it's looking good. However, Nifty Bank continues to see some flattish moves coming in the world of F&O. Not surprised because Nifty Bank overall today was also very flat and was underperforming the benchmark. So let's see if that tide turns anytime soon for Nifty Bank. But looking very positive for Nifty because a long build up is what we're seeing over there. India Wix was at 13.8, a 0.4% uptick coming in on India Wix on the back of a little bit of a volatility that we saw towards the close of trade, because you had a couple of sectors that slipped to the red, a couple of stocks that flipped onto the red side as well. So on the back of that, India VIX took a slight spike in today's trade of 0.4% uptick coming in on India VIX as well. Let's talk about the call and put levels that we've seen for active calls for the 13th March expiry. We've seen call buying at 22,600 and 22,700. We do not have a resistance level in sight. This is something that we're seeing after a lot of days, because for such a long time Nifty was having some troubles breaking past that 22,300, 22,400 mark on the upside, and a support was something that was not visible to us on the lower side because of how much we were falling. We've reversed that over the course of the past 2 trading sessions, so it's looking good, at least for us, on the upside where we don't have a cap visibility. On the flip side, if you take a look at the call writing, then at the put writing was seen at 22,500 and 22,400, making 22,400 the immediate support level to watch out for on the bottom side. So 22,400 as support, no visibility on the upside, gives us immense room to grow for the Nifty. Let's hope that this momentum that we've seen carries on for the next couple of trading sessions as well.
Well, absolutely. Let's hope we're able to build on this momentum. But tell you what, let's also shift the spotlight to something that we've been talking about for all through this week. In fact, the tariff compromise is something that we've been looking at very closely. Trump, of course, has granted a 1-month exemption coming in. As far as the automakers are concerned, we do have Sumita Kariru standing by with more updates on the latest moves on the tariff front.
Well, after slapping tariffs and counter tariffs, now the United States President Donald Trump had a call with the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and that's really hinting at rocky negotiations that might be ahead before a solution is arrived at on what to do with respect to tariffs that have been imposed from all sides. Canada, remember, is seeking a de-escalation to a growing trade war, as has been reiterated by the Canadian Prime Minister in the past as well. The tariffs benefit no one, and it is the American consumers who will also suffer, and not just the Canadian consumers. Now, Donald Trump has posted about that phone call on his platform Truth Social to give his version of the call that he had with Trudeau. Of course, he says that the call ended in a somewhat friendly manner. He wasn't very happy with how Canada is handling the fentanyl crisis, and that there was a mention of that as well. And of course, Trump openly questioned Trudeau's role in Canada's upcoming federal election as well. And of course, he was raising questions over his government's legitimacy. Other than that, the Mexican president has also held a briefing. And in fact, she said that Mexico could pursue other trade partners if necessary in the wake of these tariffs. She said, and I quote, "What can I definitely tell you is that it is a very definitive moment for Mexico. Our economy is fine, but there will be no submission." And of course, there are reports which suggest that after this phone call with Trudeau, there could be also a conversation between Claudia Sheinbaum and Donald Trump, which could happen later in the day today. Meanwhile, the other big update that we're getting on the tariff front is that the White House states that Donald Trump has decided, or his administration rather, has decided that it will go into a 1-month-long exemption on autos, any autos that are coming through the USMCA, so that they are not at any disadvantage. It was White House press secretary that told reporters later last night, but she also clarified that even though there might be these exemptions, but reciprocal tariffs will still go into effect on April the 2nd.
Sumita, thanks for all of those latest updates on everything that's been happening with the US as well as Mexico and Canada on the tariff front. But let's move on. And India's mineral trade with the US is under review as the Mines Ministry held a key meeting last week. The ministry assessed the impact of potential tariff hikes and discussed mitigation strategies with stakeholders. Prakash Priyadarshi is joining us with more details about this meet. Prakash, take it away.
Yes, a very significant development coming in, as we are learning from our sources that the Mines Ministry has held an important meeting with the stakeholders on mineral exports to the US. We are given to understand that the ministry has reviewed the current export-import situation, and the idea was to evaluate the impact of potential rise in tariffs on mineral exports. Sources are suggesting that the various ways have been discussed to mitigate the impact going forward. We are also given to understand that a proposal is being prepared by the Mines Ministry to diversify the export market, rationalize duties and provide incentives to the mineral producers. And that could be presented before the inter-ministerial committee, and government will take a final call after all due diligence. If you look at the overall mineral exports to the US, India exports mineral products such as steel, high-grade aluminium, and lignite, and it accounts nearly 12% of the overall aluminium export to the US. So that's a significant part of the overall discussion. And if you look at the import basket, India imports mineral products such as copper, scrap, bars, rods, lime, and other mineral products from the US.
All right, thanks Prakash for that update coming in. Tell you what, let's also get to the entire list of stocks that were buzzing away in trade, the likes of Castrol India, Bharat Forge as well as Railtel. Rabinder is standing by with an update. Rabinder, which are the stocks that make it to your list?
Well, Castrol India is in focus where, as per reports, Saudi Aramco is weighing a potential offer for the Castrol lubricant business of oil major BP. Moving to next, Bharat Forge were also in focus where Kalyani Powertrain, a wholly owned subsidiary of the Bharat Forge, has entered into a technology licensing agreement with Compile Electronic Inc., which is a Taiwan's company, for manufacturing of X86 platform services in India. Moving to next, on back of order win, Railtel Corporation of India were also in focus where Railtel Corporation of India has received the work order from the State Transport Authority Odisha for project business amounting to rupees 262 crore. Moving to next, Grievous Cotton were also in focus where Grievous Electric Mobility has entered into a battery swapping joint force with Indofast aiming to improve the last mile mobility of fleets and ride sharing. And lastly, on back of brokerage note, PFC and REC were also in focus where Macquarie has come out with a note on PFC and REC where they have maintained their outperform rating. They has given a target price of rupees 700 to REC and PFC to 660. They said that the recent stock correction was due to weak PSU sentiments and the structural story of the stocks remain intact. They expect PFC and REC to deliver relatively high, better growth as compared to previous cycle.
Okay, Ravinder, thanks for all of those details on which stocks were in focus in today's trading session. And on that note, I'm afraid we're completely timed out on this edition of Your Trades. From Shreyansi, me and the team that put the show together, thanks so much for watching.